Hello and welcome everyone back to another Caledon crypto video, and today we have a banger video talking about PulseChain with a highly requested topic from you guys, the members. Thank you very much. I read all your comments. Do remember to join my Telegram before I make it private. It is already at almost 1.2k members. This is where it is a great place for people who are new, who just have questions. Again, I always promote continuous growth and improvement. You should become your own independent thinker. Okay, my videos are not financial advice, but I try to keep them resourceful and informative. So join my Telegram. The farmers community, of course, is free. And yeah, today's video is going to be about the SEC case against Richard Heart and his alter egos, HEX and PulseChain. Where are we today? But not only that, we're going to be talking about that, we're going to go back in time and see where did it all start? What are the arguments that the SEC case are suing Richard Heart and his entities for? And of course, we're going to also talk about a time frame till the next update that we should expect with its possibilities. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and a big thank you for tuning in. Guys, I appreciate every single viewer, whether if you've ever liked a video before or you've ever commented or you haven't even subscribed, that's absolutely fine. Thank you very much, guys. Of course, do the highlighted comments. Can HEX do another 10,000 X? I mean, I can show you the simulation numbers for it to reach that. Now, it really depends on your time frame, and he's asking me, guys, again, listen, this is not financial advice. I can neither tell you, yes, it can, or no, it cannot, depending on the circumstances. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. But of course, you know, do watch my members exclusive videos where I do talk about the timing of this bull run, the strategies. 2025 is the year. So of course you need to cash in your profits within 25. There's going to be 2 altcoin season waves, and it's looking like, guys, because when you look at the crypto market, it is looking like we might be receiving a dampened first altcoin season wave, which is the one that you see here that I've traced, and possibly due to the dampening here, it will actually amplify the second altcoin season wave. Because again, a lot of people are trying to front run. They're saying they believe in this one altcoin season peak narrative because they're listening to these really large influencers that are, honestly, at this point, they're just making things up so they can sound different, so they can get more views. Okay, and either way, they're making money because most of them are actually paid chillers. It's actually so crazy. But I'm going to keep it very honest with you guys. It does seem like the first peak that we're going to get here, it's going to be a dampened one. But at the same time, if you're a long-term holder, if you're a believer of PulseChain, you're still going to win, because at the end of the day, these bull runs are for the believers, not for the retail investors, not for the non-believers. Okay, so really do believe in something and hold on to the finish line. But yeah, in the others crypto market cap, we have been going down minus 35%, nothing that we haven't seen before, because in the previous super cycle that people are speculating that we are in right now, which is we could be compared to that due to the fact that it's the same cycle that Donald Trump won the election in. We did have a small dip. Well, not really a small, actually. It's a 50% dip in the others total crypto market cap, which right now we're at minus 35%. So there you go. You do have your lower bound. But at the end of the day, guys, you know, still believe it's 2025. The stars have been aligning for an altcoin season, and it's a bull run. It's very obvious. We just broke an all-time high 3 days ago. You know what I mean? People are having way too many expectations. And like at this point, they're getting too emotional. Okay, they're actually getting too emotional. So try to not look at the charts every single day. You don't need to. December, it is a holidays month, so don't expect people to DCA or any much action. So there's that. It is a way that you can look at it as an opportunistic way to DCA. So especially for the people who are new to PulseChain, who want to be early on something, finally, this is your first or second bull run. You're going to be early on something like Ethereum or like even Bitcoin, you know, where it's not in the top of its own S-curve adoption. Because of course, right now with Ethereum and Bitcoin and even Solana already went from $10 to 200 something. We're not going to expect the 100x anymore. Same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, and the trade-off is that they're extremely confident now because they've withstood the test of the bull runs. But with every bull run they go through, you're going to see diminishing returns. But with PulseChain, this is its first bull run. That's why we call it a cycle 1 blockchain. And just quickly looking at the stats here, a big shout out to lookintomaxi.com. From the local bottom, HEX, Ethereum, and then yeah, you can see HEX is actually on par with Bitcoin. Stuff like with the PDAI narrative. Again, this is speculative. Is Richard Hart behind it? I believe so, but again, this is not financial advice. We are 55x away from $1 with PWBTC, the People's Bitcoin, or Pulse Chains, or Purple Bitcoin, or Richard Hart's Bitcoin. It is 93% or 93x away from parity. So there's that as well. Anyways, moving back, we're not going to really be talking about markets any more than that. If you are new to crypto, do check out my course, link in the description. That's another way to support me. But you just watch my videos. It's absolutely fine. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. But finally, jumping into the SEC case, Securities and Exchange Commission, the day that they tweeted about them suing Richard Hart was on the 31st of July 2023. Okay, 1 year ago. Well, last year, I mean. Today we charged Richard Hart, aka Richard Schlulier, and 3 unincorporated entities that he controls: HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. So it's actually 3 alter egos that they literally called it. They called it alter egos of Richard Hart, with conducting unregistered offerings of crypto asset securities that raised more than $1 billion in crypto assets from investments. So that's where it all started. Okay, and there's a little bit of lore to how this actually all started, because there was one guy who filed a complaint to the SEC. I'm not going to name him or anything. I don't really know much about him, and it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, everyone's free to do anything. So it's just the fact that SEC, the crazy part, guys, is that they haven't tweeted about FTX. They haven't tweeted about Celsius. This is they tweeted about Richard Hart because I feel like they just wanted to choose him, and the reason being, and we're gonna cover that in this video, I think because they just think Richard Hart making a 10,000x is just too good to be true, and at the same time, they don't want people to become too rich too soon. They want people to just work their 9 to 5, until they they save. They want them to just, oh, no, don't invest your fiat into crypto. No, stay in our control system and invest in our stock market, S&P 500. You'll be making 10-20% per year. Oh, that's great. It's great returns, right? Oh yeah, that means you can retire at 55 instead of 65. Nah, guys, they want to keep you in the system, the 9 to 5 system, the rat race. This is why they went after Richard Hart. But you know what's crazy? Everyone calling Richard Hart a scammer. 10,000x sounds way too good to be true. You guys understand that Bitcoin is like a million plus in X's, and most people don't even know that. They're like in Bitcoin, and they don't know that actually, yeah, Bitcoin is up 1 million X. And then now when you compare it to HEX doing a 10,000x, you're no longer saying, oh, actually Bitcoin is a scam. Bitcoin's the one that has gone down multiple times, minus 85% multiple times before it went up. And it obviously, with every bear market, it goes down 50% plus. People don't call it a scam. And then we're also going to talk about the whole OA holdings, the origin address. There's a clip from Richard Hart that we're going to talk about. He covered it very well. We're going to get to that in a second. But you know what's crazy? The SEC case, they tweeted this about Richard Hart. But do you know what they also tweeted about the FTX situation? Look what they said. SEC says FTX auditor did not understand the crypto market. Yeah, guys, yeah. This is why I tell you the SEC, they pick and choose who they want to go after. They just hated Richard Hart because, again, he's making people too rich. And he has literally minted thousands of millionaires. I've met some of them in real life, guys. It's real. HEX is real. HEX is immutable code. It is absolutely crazy. And the craziest part is that they're suing HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, pieces of code, pieces of compiled code that's turned into assembly code, guys. That's immutable, permissionless, automated. They're suing that. Imagine. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, we can get to that. Just to show you as well, we have outsiders from PulseChain even having these comments. This is an attorney on Twitter. She said, I think the HEX people will win because of the jurisdictional issue. And a fun fact is that Richard Hart actually doesn't own any US banks. He doesn't live in the US anymore. He's in Finland, guys. He's in Finland. So that's also one of the, kind of counter arguments that, how are you trying to sue Richard Hart when he's not even a US resident. But of course, their argument is that, actually, there was times that he came to the US and then he promoted the sacrifice, which is so stupid. And then, I don't know, they were mentioning the PulseChain conference, which is, I believe it's the one that they were referring to, was the one that's hosted by Matty Allen, I mean. And of course, Richard Heart has no involvement in that, so it doesn't make any sense. And the fact that they're saying, oh yeah, he's uploading videos on YouTube, is targeting US residents. I mean, yeah, YouTube is an American company, but the algorithm is global. Like, these arguments, guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. SEC is nothing better. They're not, the only thing that they're good at is time-rogging people. And of course, fear-mongering people. Because actually, matter of fact, I actually think Richard Heart will, after he gets this case dismissed, which is what I believe will happen, I think it's inevitable. It's just it's a matter of time, really. I think not only that he's going to take that win, he's going to go after the SEC case. Do you know why? July of last year, after they announced that they're suing not only the founder, they're suing the blockchain, the prices fell down a further 50%, guys. So talk about market manipulation. Yeah, so I think Richard Heart will go after them, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy story. And I think I even heard SEC is being sued by 18 states in America. So there's that as well. But anyways, going back to it, just before we dig deeper into the lore and what is the actual case about, what are the different arguments, there's just a quick image or a quick screenshot where someone says, a retail investor, let me tell you, I'm about to sell HEX and PulseX. I see no gains from it. I missed out on the big pump already. I don't see these going 2-3x by March. I'm gonna put that 3K into LCX, whatever that is. And he goes, best of luck with laughing emojis. Yeah, I'm gonna put 1.5K in LCX, 1.5K in Doge. Isn't that like already a 50 billion plus token? Top of the S curve. Yeah, this guy doesn't know about S curve. Guys, you need to understand the higher the market cap, the heavier a token becomes. You know, the more liquid it gets, the heavier it is. Now it will require more capital for it to move up. And the fact that it's already mainstream, the fact that this is not its first bull run as well, it's not as fresh. Yeah, first cycle narratives will always X other, second and third cycle narrative. Like Ethereum. Ethereum is a cycle. It's its third cycle, and people call it the third cycle curse. Because actually technically Ethereum is not really doing as good when you compare it on the ETH BTC ratio, which, you know what, I still think Ethereum is going to do well. I think right now it's at 0.034. Yeah, it's going kind of down again. But again, I think this is because of the fact that we're in December. I do think hopefully we're going to go above that 0.05 at some point in 2025, an aspirational of 0.1, where if Bitcoin goes to 150K, Ethereum will be as an effect, will be at 15K. Because of Hart's law, there's a lot of bonding between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it is a fact that Ethereum is a leverage of Bitcoin. Okay, but anyways, yeah, there's people like this, guys. People like him are actually real. It's crazy. This person right here. Where am I trying to find him? There we go. And then yeah, I'm trying to flip my bread and get out. I'm not looking to hold for years. I don't trust any of these platforms holding my money. As he talks about Doge, where he's most likely going to buy it from a centralized exchange where he doesn't even own his own crypto private keys. These centralized exchanges that could go bankrupt on him, that could freeze his account just because, hey, we have plausible reason that you've been trading too many meme coins, and now we're locking your centralized account, or they can go bankrupt on you and they never will need to owe you anything. Yeah. Be careful. This is why I'm making these videos, guys. This is why I'm making these videos. I know obviously what I know, but I'm sharing it because I do believe number one is shared knowledge is equal to knowledge squared. It doesn't reduce my chances of making more money because you know the information that I know. I think there's enough money in this world where we can all win, or at least all my viewers win, in an honest way. And of course, I don't need to gatekeep any of this. So please keep in mind, people like this really worry me. Please be careful, bro. Please be careful. Only invest with risk capital. You're jumping in on Doge. It's going to do a maximum of 3x in this bull run. Barely going to go on top of $1. Careful, man. What are you talking about? I'm going to try to do a quick flip. And he goes, oh, I'm not holding for too long. You're admitting that you are a non-believer, which is exactly the person that's not going to win in this bull run. you know. Anyways, quick reminder as well. A big thank you to Shill Gates, one of the influencers, bigger influencers, guys. 28,000 followers, and a big shout out to crypto Ranman or Ran Neuter, where he mentioned Hex, and he mentioned Richard Hart, that he is not a scammer. So this is the type of exposure that we need. Finally, people calling Richard Hart and PulseChain and Hex, oh, it's a scam, it's a pump and dump. You know what I mean? Like, bro, the code is open source. It has never changed. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? Richard Hart is a scammer. Like, stop reading just the article headlines and that is it. Moving on. It doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, those people, guys, I swear to God, they have some type of, their saltiness. They're salty that they missed out on Hex. And then now they're saying, oh yeah, there's no way a 10,000X is possible. He must have been a scammer. He must have done a pump and dump. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see the clip here from Crypto Runman.
Nothing but earn more tokens. And I understand how some people may think it's a scam. But in retrospect, I actually thought about it. And he's not a scammer. He's definitely not a scammer. A scammer is someone who says to you that they're going to do one thing, you give them your money, and they do something completely different. They tell you that they're going to deliver something, and then they run away with your money, or they steal the money. Richard Hart didn't do that. Richard Hart is very transparent. He said, Hex does exactly what it's supposed to do. You deposit Hex, through this mechanism, it gets burnt, you earn more Hex, you earn this interest in Hex, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's had many security audits, contract audits, and whatever else. It's passed every single one of them. It's never, ever been hacked. And every single user that's ever bought Hex.
Never been hacked. But you know what's a fun fact? Is that Bitcoin actually had 2 inflation bugs. It's absolutely crazy. Like Richard Hart, guys, he actually cares about people. He actually wanted to see more utility out of crypto. Like he complained about this. And the fun fact is that he tried to build Hex on top of Bitcoin, and he called it initially Bitcoin Hex, but he was kind of rejected by the Bitcoin people. He even had a free, like a function where he allowed Bitcoiners to claim their free Hex at the beginning, guys. It's absolutely crazy. And yeah, like, bro, honestly, my guy is thinking about proof of, obviously the reason why he wanted to go over to Ethereum, because obviously it became a proof of stake, which is much safer, much better for environmental reasons. And he was talking about how, the opt code in Bitcoin is too little. Like, they actually voted and they updated Bitcoin where the opt code is too little. So the Bitcoin scripting side of things it's not viable for you to create smart contracts. And a quick fun fact as well is that Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, he actually wanted initially to build smart contracts on Bitcoin. Not only was that not possible, he also got rejected by the Bitcoin people, the Bitcoin Maxis, that cannot understand that, hey, Bitcoin is only good at one thing, which is a store of value. It is not. It cannot be traded, frequently. It's a slow network. It's like twice as slow as Ethereum. And of course, now we have PulseChain, which is an evolved version of Ethereum, 70% quicker, 100% uptime, thousands of X's cheaper gas fees than Ethereum. And that matters because we need scalability solutions. And at the same time, Richard Hart really cares about decentralization. He implemented IPFS, Interplanetary File Share System, where you don't need to rely on PulseX.com to stay up. Because again, the domain.com is actually centralized. You don't need to. You can download the code. You can host your own DEX where it's running locally. You're making a local host that's interacting directly to the blockchain. Show me another creator that has done this. Guys, he donated 27 million to the Sens Foundation. Did the world's biggest airdrop. Like Richard Hart really is about that. He mentioned this. I'll show you guys. There's also a clip here that I want to show you. Look, but are you happy, Richard? Not happy while alone, happy with friends. I'll be better once I've created 1 million millionaires and we are curing diseases together. People are all that actually matters. It's crazy. He donated 27 million to Sens Foundation, even though he knows that actually, even if we, as humanity, even if we came up with the actual cure of cancer, which I hope we do, obviously, hope it's not being gate kept. That's a whole nother topic. I hope. And he says himself, he admits, he said it actually will only increase the average human lifespan by like 2 to 3 years. but it is still worth it because it's the compound effect. Because now we can think about, okay, what's the cure of another disease? And then we do that. It's like, we continuously improve. This is my founder, guys. This is my founder. This guy understands more about Bitcoin than Vitalik knows. This guy understands. He's not just a founder. He's a man with a mission. He's a man with a plan. I think these are all trials and tribulations. He will go from the man who was labeled as a hero for making 10,000x to now being a scammer, a villain. SEC is after them, and people think, oh my God, I'm so scared. Uniswap, you're not allowed to trade Uniswap on, you're not allowed to trade HEX on Uniswap because they're scared. They bent the knee for the SEC. Well, guess what? We will prevail. Richard Heart will prevail. You, us, the people that sacrificed, I sacrificed. And let me tell you, that was not an illegal ICO. I sacrificed because of the movement. I sacrificed with no expectations. But guess what? Richard Heart delivered. He did deliver PulseChain. He did deliver PulseX. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on, guys. Come on. A big shout out to Crypto Randman. Let's move on. Here's a really great summary. A big shout out to Dirty Crypto. I'm going to follow him because he's following me back. Justin Richard Hart. Here's the latest update. So this is kind of a really great summary on what are the different arguments that the SEC are suing Richard Heart, HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX for. Okay, there is a hearing as well, the oral hearing that happened. So what's happening? Okay, obviously the result, we still haven't received any result. I think the time frame is going to be around 60 to 90 days from October 31st. So again, it could be sometime in January that I think we're going to hear back from the judge, where she could either say full dismissal or partial dismissal, or of course just moving the case forward, which I think is unlikely. I think we might get full dismissal based on jurisdiction, because the fact that Richard Heart is not even a US resident, so the US doesn't have jurisdiction to do so, sue him. But here, when ruling after all arguments on jurisdiction, the time it takes for a court to make a ruling can vary depending on the case complexity and the court's workload. So obviously that's what we talked about. What's Richard Hart's team of 11 lawyers argue? And a quick fun fact, did you know that the same lawyers from, I forgot what it's called, there was a, where was it? It was there you go. Richard Heart hired the same lawyers that Elon Musk hired from Quinn Emanuel, the most feared law firm in the world, currently to fight the SEC. So hold on. I think there's connections between Elon Musk and Richard Heart. So it would be cool if there was an interview one day. I think so, guys. It's actually crazy. And I think there's connections probably between Richard Heart and Donald Trump. I would not be surprised. Because look, there's also a tweet here that I wanted to show you guys. It was actually pretty cool. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But yeah, anyways, here. Richard Hart's legal team would argue against U.S. jurisdiction by claiming he lives abroad, does not regularly operate in the U.S., and that his crypto project HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX were neither developed nor managed within the United States. Okay, they might also assert that his interactions with investors and promotional efforts, like online videos or virtual appearances, don't establish the necessary minimum contacts with the U.S. to warrant SEC oversight. Okay, as required by legal precedent in cases involving foreign defendants, they could claim that the substitute service in Finland does not establish personal jurisdiction, especially if Hart has not conducted business directly within the US or engaged in substantial activity there. So what would the SEC argue? The SEC, on the other hand, would argue that Hart's efforts to reach the US investors, including appearances at US-based conferences and interviews, targeted an American audience and involved American financial systems. They might contend that these activities satisfy jurisdictional standards because he deliberately directed his promotional efforts at the US. So there's that. But I do believe, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I do believe that actually by the time he went to those conferences in the US, the sacrifice has already ended. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I heard. So it's like, what are you guys even on about? The sacrifice has ended. So no, 200 plus Hexicans are showing up to the courts to show him support and have RSVP'd over 44,000 And over 44,000 investors have signed petition stating that they were not a victim in this case, which is the petition, Pulse petition, guys. Look at this, 44,523 people. That I'm one of them that sacrificed, and we're here, 44,000 people, guys. That's a powerful number. We're all here. We signed to say we are not victims. So what the hell are the SEC even doing, bro? Are they not even looking at this, bro? Are they not even looking at this? A big shout out. And you should, if you have sacrificed, you should sign the petition. Okay, unite against SEC manipulation. Safeguard your Pulse, PulseX, and HEX. How are they suing a piece of code? I don't understand. Your voice is power. Refuse to be silenced. The SEC claims that they can peer into your thoughts, insinuating that you engage in a tongue-in-cheek arrangement with Richard Hart. You don't tell me why I invested in the sacrifice. You cannot tell me why I did so. I did out of my own will. I read that there was no expectations. I knew that it was a sacrifice. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? I swear, guys, this is like an attack from the Matrix on Richard Hart. And indirectly on us. You know what I mean? It's so crazy because they would rather you go spend money rather than, speculative investments. Go spend money in a casino. Guys, they would literally rather you go spend money and lose in a casino. Do you know why? Because, of course, a casino is still within their monetary system, the fiat system, right? If you make money, they're going to make it off you from capital gains tax. If you lose it, they're going to still make money off you from the casino's income tax. They don't even care, guys. They don't care about you. They want you to stay in the 9-to-5 rat race. I swear to God, it feels like it's just because Richard Hart's projects are just too good to be true. They have to be a scam. No, that's what people automatically assume. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me. Anyways, defend your fundamental rights. The SEC is challenging your dedication to the First Amendment, freedom of expression, and freedom of assembly. Many individual artists, political movements, recreational activities, and interest groups using PulseChain as open publishing software are negatively impacted by the false allegations for the SEC. So yeah, guys, led by a legend. Big shout out to the pulsepetition.org. That is the website. And yeah, this is also another website. I'll leave it in the link in the description. If there is any updates to the SEC case, they would be posted down here. So the latest one obviously was the oral hearing, and there was one in November 13th where it was the notice of filing official transcript. I think there's nothing significant. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated. Join the Telegram if you have any questions. I can forward it to the right people as well. So yeah, obviously with this whole oral hearing that happened, which by the way, look at the amount of people that showed up. It was right here. Look at this, guys. Look at these. Look at how many people. That's like almost 100 people, I'd say, or maybe 50 plus. I don't know how to count. 50 plus, 60, 80, let's say. Okay, an average. Well, an average would be 75. Anyways, 75 people. Look at them. All unpaid. All believe in something. Guys, this is the difference. Why wasn't the SEC case going after, I don't know, Solana or XRP influencers? XRP. They're not going after XRP influencers. And we're going to get to that in a second, because that's one of the latest updates. Subpoenas were filed, guys. This is SEC's final resort. Their scare tactic, because they know they're not winning. So crazy, bro. Look at this, guys. A big shout out to everyone who was there. I wish I was there. Look at this. I think that's Nuclear Herb, one of the biggest legends within PulseChain. He's an attorney and he's been giving his thoughts about this. So it's great to have his opinions and thoughts. And you have, look at this, Crypto Coffee, one of my biggest inspirations within PulseChain. Matty All In, great PulseChain conferences, very good representative as well. And obviously shout out to all the other people there. I wish to meet you guys all one day. That's too many people actually. Hopefully not in one day, but one day each. Yeah, I am slightly of an introvert, but here's a next tweet from Richard Hart. 11 of my lawyers and I are fighting for your rights. Not only by the way, not only our rights within PulseChain, but it's actually all of crypto's rights. That's the crazy thing. Richard Hart is fighting for the rest of crypto. We're defending open source software and especially open source blockchain publishing software from the SEC's attacks. The SEC sued the PulseX, HEX, and PulseChain publishing software, naming the software as defendants. It's so crazy to me. Suing code is like suing an idea. The briefing in support of the motion to dismiss has now been submitted to the court and is on the public record. Next up, oral argument, which it was 24th, but it was postponed to 31st, which doesn't make any sense for them to push it. Like, it was almost last minute. So it's like the people who booked flights, like, what are you guys doing? I swear to God, these SEC people, man, they're scummy. I'm so glad that Gary Gensler is, basically, he's going to leave. I think he put in his notice as well, basically forced away. But I heard that he's trying to do collateral damage before he leaves. Anyways, man. Code is speech. Blockchains are speech. Speech is protected human right. It's the First Amendment, indeed. Freedom of movement and freedom and assembly are also protected human rights. If you publish your brief in these ideals publicly, you should not be punished, nor should any free digital recognition you receive. May the honorable courts protect your rights from the unelected bureaucrats that seek to harm you. Free speech isn't free if you need to beg permission first. And by the way, shout out to the judge, Carol, I think that's her name, Carol. She actually is a legend. She's a base judge. She did her research. She knows about crypto because, from the oral hearing, by the way, it was actually, I was looking at a few of the transcripts. There was literally times where she was commenting and replying to the SEC lawyers, attorneys. She was saying, well, if he told you that the money's not yours, why should we even care that he spent it on, lavish spendings and outrage marketing, whatever it was? Like, she literally said that. She said, if he told you the money's not yours anymore, why should we even ask the second question? And of course, and she mentioned when the SEC were bringing up the argument that, he's in the US, I don't know, you launched Pulsechain in the US, which doesn't make any sense. Do you know what she replied? She said, well, do you know where the blockchain lives? Where does the blockchain live? She literally said that, guys. And then the attorneys were like, can you bring up the next point? Can you have a bathroom break? You know what I mean? Like, they were fumbling, bro. Guys, they're fumbling. They're just good at time rugging. You know what I mean? Again, they're spearing the people that they want to go after. I swear to God, they're doing that. They haven't tweeted about FTX or Celsius, and they're tweeting about Richard Hart. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it is some type of weird balance going on. Which, by the way, speaking about where does the blockchain live, let's go and find out the answer. They should have put this screenshot over there. Yeah, Pulsechain is worldwide, baby. It's decentralized with 45,000 validators, which I'm going to make a validator tutorial very, very soon. I'm just busy doing other things, but I will get that out. And it's crazy because when you compare this to blockchains like Solana, which has 3,400 3,400 validators compared to 4,500, guys. So let's talk about a 51% attack. Which one's more likely? And by the way, when you compare this to also Bitcoin, do you know a fun fact? And I've been researching about this, and look it up. Do you know 50 miners that represent 0.1% of the miners of all, within Bitcoin actually have 50% of the mining capacity? So 50 miners have 50% of the mining capacity of all of the blockchain. So talk about a high risk of the 51% attack. Yeah, not possible here in Pulsechain, let me tell you. Moving on. This is a topic that people also have mentioned because, of course, right, they're suing Richard Hart that he's targeting US residents. They're suing Richard Hart that, I don't know, he made spending from the ICO, the illegal, unregistered ICO, right, initial coin offering. And they're also, I think, they're saying that he spent money from the pre-sale of HEX. I believe so. That's one of their arguments as well. And generally, people dislike the fact there's an origin address that are holding majority bags of the token HEX, and also within Pulsechain. If you check out here, if you go in PulseX, you can toggle this. So you can see, for example, here supply is 97 billion, and here 140 million market cap, 1 billion market cap roughly, and then here 1.4 billion. If you include the OA, the origin address, you can see now it has increased to 9.5 billion, 6.4. INC doesn't really have any OA holdings, but here with HEX, 2.1 goes to 15 billion. So that's, a very large majority of OA. But guess what? There's zero track record or zero history, and I'm certain that it will never sell a penny. Those origin addresses, they'll never sell a penny, guys. And you're talking about which one's more trusted, which one's more of a scam. When you have Ethereum, The Ethereum Foundation is sitting on people's heads, sending it to Coinbase. And of course, you know what happens when it goes to Coinbase. They're dumping that. They're dumping that. Look at XRP that everyone is praising, all the retail investors. Oh my God, partial win, great. Oh, next stop, we're gonna flip Ethereum. Those TikTok people, guys, it doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? We're gonna flip Ethereum. It's gonna barely go over 2 digits. Like, relax. You know, it doesn't make any sense, man. Like, because those retail investors, they get so hyped. And it's like, really, like, you know, some people are just not destined. Some people just don't have the financial IQ to be in such a market. And I swear to God, I don't mean it in any derogative way. I mean it genuinely. Like, some people actually should not be trading crypto. Just stick to, I don't know, put your money in a hedge fund or an investment fund and just let them do, you know, make your 10 to 20%, call it a day. You're happy with that. You know, just hold Tesla, hold Nvidia stocks. Not financial advice, by the way. Whoa. Not financial advice. I'm just joking here. You know what I mean? Like, be careful. Like, people genuinely were saying XRP is going to go and break $10,000. You know, it's crazy. And actually topple Ethereum. Relax, bro. Relax. Even I don't really hold Ethereum anymore. I used to, and I used to hold half a Bitcoin like a year and a half ago. And I'll probably at some point I'll buy back the Bitcoin. I'll buy back the Ethereum, because at the end of the day, yes, I love PulseChain, but of course, first rule of power, which is never outshine the master. I think we need, not only that, I think we need Bitcoin to stay at number 1, Ethereum to stay at number 2, the digital gold, the digital oil. Yes, Bitcoin is not even Turing complete. It's not even viable beyond a store value, but the fact that it is a working store value solution, an anti-inflationary hedge against inflation, a better monetary system than fiat, that is enough to stay at the first spot. Same thing with Ethereum, the digital silver, or some people call it the digital oil because of the fact that it's gas fees. Guys, it has innovated the industry that we're in, which is crypto, with the smart contracts, enabling smart contracts with the ERC20 standards. Come on, it has to stay in the number 2 spot. Okay, and I think PulseChain is going to move its way up to be number 3. Maybe number 4, just under BNB, because BNB is amazing. Is one of the best centralized exchanges out there. I'll admit, you know, I think I like BNB more than Coinbase. You know, Coinbase has been having a bad track record about freezing people's accounts just because they're trading meme coins way too much. Nah, BNB, I'm happy with that. Binance. Shout out to CZ as well. So there's that. You know, those are my thoughts, and I'm going to quickly check. The video is slightly too long, and I know you guys have been asking me to shorten the video, but guys, I really, you know, treat it as a live stream. Okay, I really want to give you guys all the information so you guys can be at least up to my level of knowledge. I'm not saying I'm right. I don't care about being right. I'm making these videos for them to be educational, for them to be as a documentary to my crypto journey. I care about you and I to be at the right place. I care about you and I to just be better informed, independent thinkers to make our own decisions. Don't listen to an influencer to make your own decision. And do not just watch one influencer. Don't watch me alone, because I can't be everywhere. I'm not going to give you the latest news of Solana. Okay, I can't be everywhere at the same time. I'm not going to know everything. And of course, my analysis can sometimes be wrong. Okay, but I'm continuously learning. I'm promoting everyone here to continuously learn. This is why I talk about join the Telegram. Because of course, guys, I've learned so much from you guys. You know, we're both here leveraging each other. It's the network that we're building. Okay, the network effect. If you guys are smart, I'm smart, we get to multiply that number. It's exponential growth, you know? So, and of course, I believe everything starts with knowledge and then money comes afterwards. You need to understand how does crypto work before you decide which place to go. Don't just jump into because you watched a 20-second clip talk about why a meme coin will take over Shiba Inu. You know? We're going to make a 20-second clip that talks about teddy bear. Okay? Well, sometimes that's what you want to do. You know, to attract the retail investors, you got to make the type of videos that they're going to listen to, which is, you know, with a Subway Surfer in the bottom, with very loud music, with, you know, very large text font captions, with animated, you know, stuff. And yeah, and then talk about teddy bear. Anyways, this is the clip about OA. This is what Richard had to say.
The people that make the most in cryptocurrency are founders of coins and exchanges and holders. And the people that lose the most money in crypto are traders.
Exactly. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Because I always tell this to people. I'm not a crypto trader. I'm a crypto investor. But
I answered that once. I just answered it again. And so I guess you want me to answer it a third time. Yes, if you want to get rich in crypto, be a founder or a holder. I'm both.
Based on this logic that you have now presented, and based on everything you have said, you as a founder of HEX, does that not make you someone who is going to be taking advantage of all the traders of your platform and then turning around and getting rich off of what they are buying from you, based on the definition you have now provided?
Quick fun fact, by the way, that Richard is definitely not doing this for money. He's already a billionaire before he created PulseChain and or HEX. And HEX, actually. He was already a billionaire. Retired at 2003, was having a 60 million plus dollar salary. Found out about Bitcoin when it was at 50 cents, started mining it. So, you know, he's not really in it for the money. That's his outrage marketing. Like, this is what he wants to show. He's buying all these watches so he can show to people, oh yeah, this is HEX. Yeah, like, let's see his answer.
How much percentage of supply does Satoshi have? Should he own any?
You educate me.
5%. It used to be 100%. Goes down over time because of inflation.
And it doesn't matter.
My man says, and it doesn't matter. Then why are you asking him the same question? Matter of fact, with Bitcoin, we don't even know who the person is. So which one is it better? Is it better to be anonymous? I don't understand. Is it better for the founder to actually be embedded within the project that he is, to be incentivized to talk more about it? Doesn't make any sense to me. Bro, please move yourself. You don't mute yourself, bro.
Okay, so why are you asking me if it doesn't matter?
Let him finish his point, Svetsky. Please continue, Richard.
Yeah. In capitalist societies, having skin in the game makes things work better, not worse, which is why you see the companies that do the best have highly centralized ownership profiles. Zuckerberg, whose company up until recently absolutely murdered as far as prices go, did great for decades. Only recently it started to suck. He has like the vast majority of the voting shares and huge portions of the non-voting shares. Centralized ownership from decision makers is the most successful strategy that we've ever seen in capitalist societies for the creation of value for shareholders. I have designed things that have created thousands of millionaires, and to be demonized for caring.
Those millionaires are real, by the way. Like, they are real in real life. I've met them. Like, this is a real story, guys. HEX is real. HEX is working today. And there's a clip, there's a comment before I get into it. People that just don't understand HEX, they just don't look into it enough. They don't understand that, hey, the code is public. Go read it. There's no hidden thing that says scam. There's no hidden thing that says dump the price. Guys, at the end of the day, even if HEX, nobody trades HEX, it's still going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to just all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to delete myself. No, it is there. It works. Most people don't even understand how HEX works. T-shares. Most people don't even know what T-shares are. Trillion in shares. I believe that's what. Yeah, trillion shares. You know, it's basically a token within HEX. Once you stake, you receive T-shares, which, by the way, the T-share rate increases as more people end their stakes or start their stakes. So it becomes more expensive over time. And those T-shares, they have a daily payout. That's how it works. It's a certificate of deposit, guys. There's a token within a token, which is T-share within HEX. And it's a pretty cool system. I love HEX, man. I love HEX. That's why I'm in it. I'm in it in PHEX because I believe it's going to repeat its history. I'm buying back that DCAing the bottom of EHEX because I believe, again, if we were able to go to the top 10 CMC, I think we can do it again. But that's a whole nother story because on CMC, CoinMarketCap, centralized, they're de-ranking the PulseChain products. Doesn't make any sense. And on CoinGecko, if you typed in PulseChain and you see the only tag, which usually is supposed to be DeFi, Layer 1, PRC20, whatever, the only tag that CoinGecko has on PulseChain is a SEC unregistered security. Wow. Well done, guys. Well done. I swear we're being gatekept so much. A big shout out to Maxi. If you're watching this, a big shout out to Maxi for being one of the first centralized exchanges to list us. It's a tier 1 exchange. Go check it out if you want to onboard people. That is a very easy way as well. I've used it before, actually. I think it's even a no KYC exchange. I think it's either a no or a light KYC. So big shout out to Maxi. We need people like that. God, I love being in PulseChain because I know this is how it feels to finally be in early on something. We're the first 1%. We jumped the high barrier and we're getting rewarded for this. The cheap prices that we're seeing. Look at this. Look at this. Pulse, 0.7% sacrifice rate. PulseX, 0.44% sacrifice rate. We're getting such a great rate, guys. But at the same time, from all-time low, we're up 4x. We're up 6x on INC. We're up 5x on PHEX from the all-time low. On Pulse, we're up 1.5%. So we're actually doing great. We're actually doing great. And let me tell you, once we break sacrifice rate, it's going to be price discovery. Oh, and the next leg up, guys. The timing with the altcoin season, the timing with the bull run, the timing with the super cycle, because it's a Donald Pump cycle. You know, we have a more pro-crypto president than ever. A guy who's a businessman who actually cares about the economy of America, who wants to keep crypto the main leading industry of crypto. Oh, sorry, to keep United States the main leading crypto industry. You know, aside from what SEC is trying to do, they're trying to like ruin and stifle the growth of crypto. It doesn't make sense. Do you want China to hold more Bitcoin than America? No, you don't. Look at all the stable coin currencies. What are they? It's the US dollar, bro. Do you want all of a sudden, do you want that to become another currency? No, you don't. Come on, SEC, what are you guys doing? Since 2020, you guys changed your mind. You know, they were actually useful. SEC was actually providing useful acts, you know, from the Bernie Madoff, from the Enron. I watched those. You know, I watched those movies. It's great movies. I love finance movies. I watched all of them, by the way. And if you have any suggestions, or if you want me to make a top 5 suggestions, I can. But anyways, you know, and I've read more about them. Like, they actually helped make, you know, banks required to make more audits, etc., etc. Like, it actually makes sense. But since 2020, bro, like, they've been going after people. They don't even understand crypto themselves. So what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? You're suing Richard Hart based on unwritten rules. Tell me how that's fair.
Caring about something that creates millionaires, for caring about something that does something better because it may benefit me, is a little bit crazy. Like, yes, it should benefit me. I should feel great about it. I should do wonderful because it made the world a better place. Like, yes, and you want me to keep having more great experiences as a founder, so I keep making better things. I don't like, for guys that support capitalism and don't like socialism, these questions are weird.
Hey, coming from a guy myself who's still doing my 9-to-5 software engineer, who's still, you know, kind of working my way up the ladder, which I'm in the game that I'm talking about, the rat race, I still would call myself a pro-rich person. If someone is rich, hey, he worked hard to become rich. I think, and obviously, okay, there's inheritance, whatever, but I think there's really 3 things that you need to become rich. Number 1 is obviously the luck. Number 2 is hard work. Number 3 is talent. And I think you probably need 2 out of those 3 to become rich. Guys, I am pro-rich at the end of the day. Nothing comes easy. You guys think that crypto is an easy game. Oh, make money. Yes, you can make money in a smart way, but it's not an easy way at the end of the day. Guys, there's a lot of mental toughness that's required to hold through all the ups and downs. Okay, so, you know, it feels great. It really feels great. My conviction for PulseChain grows the more I learn about, not only the more I learn about who Richard Hart is, what PulseChain is. I swear to God, I have more conviction about PulseChain the more I learn about everything else out there. The more I learn about Bitcoin, the more I learn about Ethereum, Solana, Buggy Network. You know, not that decentralized. You know, XRP. They have a XRPL, their stablecoin. Yeah, it has a clawback function. Not just a freeze function where they can freeze your wallet and you won't be able to transfer it or swap it. They have a clawback where they can literally burn the tokens that you have in your hands. Super centralized. That's the closest thing to a CBDC, centralized bank digital currency. No. And I think even in Europe, they're literally banning USDT owned by Tether. I think they gave them a deadline. They have to ban USDT from centralized exchanges running in Europe. And I think now MakerDAO, that's on Ethereum, being rebranded to Sky, they're making their own USDS, I think, USDS that's even more centralized. So I'm glad where I am in PulseChain, where we have the legacy version of MakerDAO that's still called MakerDAO. There's that, man. There's that. So anyways, moving on, man. Big shout out to Richard Hart. Yeah, here's the latest update from Nuclear Herbs. Big shout out to him. We wait. In around 60 days, we will get a ruling. Could be full dismissal, partial dismissal, or complete denial of motion. If the case moves forward, the next step will be discovery and then summary judgment motions sometime late 2025 on whatever issues remain. So there's that. And then, guys, at the end of the day, you know, obviously, I would like to be optimistic. I look at things in an optimistic way. At the same time, you know, let's say the case moves forward. I think PulseChain is still going to flourish. I just think that if we did get the case dismissed, it will just act as a catalyst for PulseChain. But if we didn't get the case dismissed, I think everything will be fine. Nothing will change. You know, I think we will still do very, very well. You know what I mean? We don't need, you know, the blockchain still runs. It's, you know, we're not going to just turn it off. It's been running for 580 days, 590 days plus with 100% uptime. We don't need, SEC can't do anything. They cannot turn off. They cannot jail people who are running validators, keeping PulseChain on. So there's that. You know, it's just the SEC, you know, are kind of scaring away the centralized exchanges, which is fair enough. And we don't really need the centralized exchanges themselves. It's just centralized exchanges will just legitimize PulseChain to the retail investors and the non-believers. You know, that's the only reason why it's bullish for us being here before centralized exchanges, because the barrier for entry will be lowered down. And of course, you'll have a large influx of people coming in who are going to be potentially non-believers. They're going to come here and they're going to try to make money, not really understand much, everything, make their little 5x, you know, make a little 10x. They're going to be like, oh, PDAI is at 10 cents. Oh, it's a 10x from here to $1. They're going to think that's the craziest narrative when we've been here and we've been up 100x plus, you know. So there's that. Obviously, if you want to wait till things are listed on centralized exchange, you're trading it for rewards. You know, it all depends on your risk tolerance at the end of the day. So there's no hate in that. It's fun. It's absolutely fun. So, yeah, the latest updates here, by the way, and I'm going to end it on those two comments here, and that is it. I think we've given you guys the latest updates here. The latest update was, the final thing, I mean, is that, yeah, the corrupt SEC are hitting HEX and PulseChain community again right now with another round of subpoenas. No one has ever been paid to talk about Richard Heart products. We have 220 content creators. I'm one of them. I never was paid by Richard Heart. You know, I could be making videos about Solana and making 10 times more views, but I don't want to. I don't want to. The SEC has caused more damages to this community than anything. Wiping minus 80% off our chats in 2 days. So it's not minus 50 like I said at the beginning of the video, it's minus 80. Making a tweet from their official account. Why did they never tweet about FTX, Luna, etc.? Why only post about HEX? Why are they fear-mongering our community with a second round of subpoenas, trying to create and cause more fear in the market, trying to scare people away from talking about HEX and PulseChain? Why did they never subpoena XRP influencers or the literal paid shills in crypto? The SEC knows they're about to lose in court. They know Richard has the best legal team money can buy. Their claims hold no grounds, and the judge made that very clear. Based judge, by the way. I'm so glad. Thank God for a judge like that. Finally, someone who's fair, who knows about crypto, who has done research about the sacrifice, knows what it means. So thank you, Judge Carol. And I hope that's her name. I think it's Judge Carol. If you can't see this, it's not only an overreach, but a scare tactic, then you're not going to make it. The SEC should be careful. Richard might decide to countersue them for damages if they keep targeting the SEC, the community who chose to be here. This is why we're going to win so hard this cycle. Our community isn't going away. HEX isn't going away. PulseChain isn't going away. Go bleep yourself. SEC, January 20th, your overreach and games start to end. That is true. I think around January 20th of January, I think we're going to expect something from the judge. So this is the final comment that we're going to read here. I'm going to stay cool, to say the quiet part out loud. The reason why SEC case, the SEC and so many crypto elitists don't like HEX and Richard Heart products is because they have the potential and have proven to create wealth for people of modest means. Last cycle, a few $100s went to as high as 6 figures. The SEC and now the bankers are totally fine with the average person buying Bitcoin because they know they can't make generational wealth from Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other really big coins unless they are already wealthy. They know that many of the followers and the proponents of Richard Heart are blue-collar, salt of the earth type people. The people that make the world run. The elites can't afford for this class of people in mass to cast off their chains and join people of wealth. Absolutely crazy, man. This theory is absolutely crazy. They will do everything they can to stop projects like HEX and PulseChain and people like Richard Heart who create opportunities to uplift regular, everyday people. Look at what they did to CZ. Many people criticized Binance, but Binance created a product that allowed anyone to access to allowed anyone easy access to capital markets at low costs. Look at what they did to Arthur Hayes. Again, say what you want about BitMax, but it allowed regular people to have access to leverage in new markets. The only people that had access to leverage in new markets before this was extremely wealthy people. The game is to keep those that have not already made it from making it. They're totally fine with you buying their boomer stocks and coins that are making 20% a year in returns and retiring when they're 65, which, by the way, I think the age of retiring in the UK is almost 70. They keep pushing it every few years. It doesn't make any sense. But if you think it's going to be easy to turn a few $1,000s into millions this cycle, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked at how hard they fight to keep that from happening, which is true. And it is a sad reality. Just because the fact that we're becoming a saturated market, we have a lot of choices of coins and tokens to be in. So it does spread the returns. But guys, listen, I'm going to end the video there. Thank you very much for reading this. Big shout out to all the content creators. Big shout out to all the supporters, the believers of PulseChain, you and me. Guys, we're gonna prevail. Okay, God is with us. God will always have the people's backs, who are obviously doing honest things like Richard Hart. I think he's doing an honest thing, guys. Like, he just wanted to be the change that he wants to see. He wanted crypto to be more useful. He wanted crypto to be more efficient environmentally, more sustainable. He made HEX, and then now he made a even further scalable, better blockchain than Ethereum. He made PulseChain, another chance to make another thousands, potentially even more millionaires. So there's that, guys. I'm gonna end the video there. I hope you guys are doing great, of course. Take care.